Hi, and welcome to Broker Tools, where we unpack the tools, systems, and strategies that help brokers optimize the way they work. We all know how hectic the finance world can be, from choosing the right CRM to a document collection tool and finding and hiring virtual assistants and managing team members. There's always something new to juggle. The whole purpose of this podcast is simple: to make work life better and more fun for you. I'm Katie, your host, and today we are catching up with Farzan and Guy from Kaddim. Kaddim is the tool you want if you're looking to automate the way you collect documents and information from your clients. And just like every great entrepreneur I've ever met, Farzan and Guy have a couple of side hustles too, one of them being Testimonial Donut. So later on, we'll take a little tour of that. But first things first, let's get into the weeds of Kaddim and explore what makes it an awesome way to manage your client documentation and fact-find. Farzan and Guy, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Oh, wow. It's been a long time coming, for sure, because we've had a couple of conversations going in and around about Kaddim, and I was introduced to you guys a couple of years back. But you were just telling me that you did launch Testimonial Donut, which I just mentioned earlier, but now you've gone back into Kaddim and have just done some upgrades and are looking forward to going through the new process of what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, we never forgot about CAD. However, like you said, we went on a bit of a side quest with Testimonial Donut, building a second product. But as Guy was just saying before we hit record on this, is that we realized that it would be a missed opportunity if we didn't give the utmost amount of focus and attention to Kaddim, and that's what we've been doing over the past roughly 12 months. Yeah, I mean, the product's been around for quite a while now, over 4 years. We have loyal customers who've, been using us for many years, loving it, and they've been asking for more. And that's what really, I guess, this next chapter is for us to kind of take Kaddim to the next level in terms of building capabilities that drive efficiency and save time for brokers, Australian mortgage brokers. That's our primary focus.
Nice. And I guess, while I've kind of described it as a document collection tool and fact find, what would you actually say Kaddim is to you?
Yeah. Oh, you go, Guy.
No, I was about to jump. Yeah, I don't want to butt each other. I would say clearly, high level, it's a document collection tool for Australian mortgage brokers. I would say that would be the very sort of 100%. Highest level. I think within that, there's new features we're coming in, but they're kind of children of the document collection. So I would say, with the, for people who've used document collection tools, there's stuff like File Invite out there. We're probably, our big goal is to come in and I guess take over that sort of gold medal position and be the best Australian, purely focused on Australian mortgage brokers, not on other industries, not on other countries right now. So I would say that's it. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really important distinction Guy makes, is that we, when we started, we had and we also still have customers from other industries, because, document collection is a task that can be had in other industries. But the conclusion we came to was, rather than trying to tailor Kaddim to sort of be generic enough so that it can be used across a range of industries, we've doubled down, and we're doubling down on mortgage brokers, but not just mortgage brokers, Australian mortgage brokers. And our focus is, and our intention is to remain focused and deliver the best experience for that niche audience.
Okay. And when you just say mortgage, it's not even commercial or asset finance. It's really, I guess, resi.
I'd imagine that it would be still quite useful for, outside of mortgage brokers. But again, coming back to that discipline that we have, like when we think about, like, every time we talk about, we say we want this product to be the go-to and I guess the most reliable for who, we would say it'd be Australian mortgage brokers.
Perfect. Did you want to go through, I guess, a tour of Kaddim and show people what it can and can't do?
Yeah, sure. So let me share my screen, give you a quick overview, try and get the right balance so we don't bore your audience, but give enough detail.
Nice to have like a little opening in a way. I mean, I'm sure you love your discovery calls, but this could be like a preview to the preview.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a second. I'm trying to see what I can share. It looks like it wants to take over my entire screen, which is fine. Oh no, this is actually pretty cool.
Nice.
All right, brilliant. Okay, cool. You can see my screen?
Let me make sure we can. Let me. Ooh,
Yeah, it's coming now, I think.
I think it's coming on. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm logged in, just one of my test accounts. Really, the approach that we've taken is to make the experience similar to your standard consumer app, really simple, straightforward. And so the first thing you do probably is when you create your Kaddim account is templates. So this is just one of my test accounts. There's a lot of noise here, but what you do is you create your templates, and these templates are essentially the typical types of requests that you'd send to clients. So let me just open up, for example, mortgage onboarding a new client. And as you can see, so what you'll find is you'll have your email subject and body, right? So you can customize this for your template, and then you'll see what is very similar to a website builder, right? These are all different elements, and if I click add elements, you can see these are the range of different types of elements you can drag and build into this template. And we've got a video here. So typically what we encourage our customers to do is add a video where it might be an overview or an intro or a welcome to your clients, explaining to them what documents you need and why you need it and how to provide it. And this helps avoid the back and forth and mistakes that can be made. And then you can share documents. So for example, I've shared a credit guide. And then this section is all the different types of required documents, right? So I've asked for pay slips and information in terms of the types of pay slips and how to provide them. So again, this is just to ensure that your clients are clear, there's no confusion. Income statement, bank statements, we also integrate with Ilions, bankstatements.com.au. So we'll just open this up. You can see there's a bank statements element here. So, and then we also allow you to build forms in here, similar to the concept to, say, a Google form, where you can ask any question you need to from your customers. Once you've done that, you basically hit save on your template, and then I'll bring you back to the next screen. And I'll click, so this is the home screen. So if you want to create a request, it's super simple. Click create request, create a modern request. And this is where you access all of your templates. So this is the template that I had before that we just saw together, right? I could open this up and say, you know what, I want to use this template, except I don't want to ask the question about booking a meeting. Have you booked a meeting for this particular client? Click add 15 items and done. Simple as that. So, and then here you can add in your details of your clients. So maybe I can send you one, Katie, if you like, for the sake of this demo. Would that work?
Yeah, that'd be okay.
Okay, let me see if I can get your email from the calendar invite. Oh, actually, don't worry about that. I was going to say your phone number. No need for that now. Set a due date, but yeah, you certainly can add a phone number, so we SMS your client on your behalf. And then you can, again, customize this, move things around. Like I said, it's similar to a website builder, drag and drop, really seamless and intuitive. And then hit send your request. Once that's sent, your client's going to receive an email, an SMS if you've enabled SMS, and that's going to take them to give them a link that's going to take them to a page that looks like this. So voila, looks very similar to what we've created. And also, just to show you, it's mobile responsive. So there's no need for your clients to download mobile apps or anything like that.
I don't think it's, sorry, Farzan, I don't think it's showing the other screen. Maybe.
Sorry, my bad.
You're in.
Yeah, so this is the view of your client, is what I was trying to show. So this is what your client will see once they click on that link. And then what I was trying to show you is the mobile responsiveness. This is basically simulating an iPhone. And yeah, so, and then again, without going into too many details, so if your client has any questions or there's something they're not so certain about, they can add comments. So they could say, for example, I just started my new job, don't have pay slips. Can I provide pay slips from my last job, right? Whatever the questions may be. So your clients can communicate with you through the portal. And so if I jump back here, by the way, I just got an email as the requester for that from the client. So I'll come back to this tab. And so you can see, I can see that you've viewed your email, right? So if I open this up,
yeah,
there's activity history as well. So I can see that the email was read and the client portal was viewed. So this was tracking. It knows that it's my my computer, my IP address that viewed the portal, but I was acting as the client, right? But basically all the logs are there, and I can see the comment here. Voila, that's from Katie, and then I could respond and say, that's fine, no problem, go ahead, right? And so, yeah, your client can then go back and forth. As they upload documents, you'll receive progress updates via notifications in-app and also email. And once everything is done, there's actually a review flow. I mean, there's no file uploaded here, but once files have been uploaded, you'll be able to view them. So maybe if you want to just quickly, Katie, go in that link in that portal and just upload a dummy file for Payslip, and I'll just show you what that experience looks like.
Ooh, let me see what I can find. 1 second.
No problem.
Upload files. I'm going to send a picture of my puppy. I think that would probably be
No problem.
the safest document to send.
Okay, you just let me know once you've done that.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Done.
Okay, I can see I get a notification. I hit refresh here, and there you go. So I'll just show you on this summary view. I can see I've requested 10 different bits of information or documents from you. You've uploaded one, so that gives me at a glance where all of my clients are up to. I can open this up and I can see payslips. There's been activity. So this has been automatically renamed. We have a file renaming feature, which I'll talk about in a minute. I can open this up and preview it. So I've asked for a payslip. You've sent photos of your dog. That's not what I need. So I'm going to reject, and I might say, can you please make sure to upload your 2 most recent payslips, right? Whatever the issue is. And you'll get an email with a link that'll take you to the portal, and you'll see this indicators for you to go ahead and address. I talked about renaming. So we have this convention where for files uploaded in this section, we want them to be renamed to payslip _ your first name _ your last name and _ date and time stamp of when you uploaded them. That's currently a file renaming feature, but we're building something really exciting at the moment, which basically opens up the files that you have and analyzes them in, let me actually make this a little bit narrow so the screen can be viewed more easily. But yeah, analyzes them, renames them. We're working really closely with our customers at the moment, a handful of our customers, to get this capability to a point where we feel really, where we nail it, and we're going to be building that into Khaddim soon. If you like, I can give you a demo of that feature as well.
Yeah, because that would be great, because, you know, having OCR kind of renaming features is probably one of those requests that are coming out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, this is something that a lot of our customers have been asking us, and for a while, actually, for a very long time, we've finally started to build it out. So I'm going to share this another tab with you. This is our prototype, but this capability is going to be built into Khaddim by the end of this year. We're really getting to the polish stage. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can share with you a particular document of mine. Let me see if this is going to be something that I can comfortably share. Maybe I'll just do an old payslip from my early days as a graduate. Give me 1 second. There's a lot. The only thing is just I have to be mindful about with the sample data that I have and what I can share. So
of course,
let me see how I can share this. Okay, so there you go. This is a payslip from way back when, and I'm going to upload it now. And I'll show you. So this is just going to get uploaded and then be processed. And then there you go. So it's got my name, the company that issued the payslip, the document type, which is a payslip, and the date. So let's have a look here. The file renaming rule that we assigned for payslips was the first name - employer name - document type - pay period end, right? So as you can see, we've extracted a lot of information, and we've used all of this to rename the document. It's no longer the static information, which was when the document was uploaded, who the request was for. We look at a document and rename it according to all the information inside it. So if I actually bring you to here, so you can see for payslips, this is the rule that we have. But we have a lot of other information that we can extract from a document, such as, gosh, if a document's been signed or not. Let's have a look. Pay period, so the employment, right? Pay period start, pay period end, pay period length, the actual amounts if you wanted to put amounts in there. In the case of finance, banking documents, the lender name, the account type, and there's a lot of other nuance which I won't go into on this call, but it's a really, really capable renaming feature that is basically you can customize and you can tailor it to suit any particular workflow and any renaming convention. So brokers typically have renaming convention documents, right, for a set of different document types, and they'll need to rename it according to their convention, not according to our convention. With this capability, you'll be able to, it's almost infinitely customizable.
Perfect. So ultimately, this feature, it does the OCR where it can extract the details of it. But then based on what it's extracted, it can now say, this is the type of file. And then based on these rules, the file should be named not INV, zip, 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 or whatever it came out with, but it shall now be named broker one at finance company, invoice for.
Yeah. So basically what you do is you define, and we'll set a predefine a file rename convention for those who don't have their own. But a lot of brokers, especially those who've been in business for a while and they have the process established really, really well, they'll have their own renaming convention. So they'll have a CSV or a document which has a list of all the different document types they regularly collect from clients, and then they'll have their rule in terms of how they rename it. And essentially what they'll be able to do is replicate that in Khaddim, and then Khaddim will be able to identify a document and say, oh, I've identified a bank statement, I've identified a lease agreement, I've identified a payslip, whatever it might be, and here's the renaming rule. And then it's going to analyze that document and say, okay, this is the information I need to rename this document. So these are the fields, and voila, renames it for you. And this is, we speak to brokers, and this is a really major pain point where they have staff who spend a considerable amount of their time on a weekly basis renaming documents, and we will be automating all of that for them, so they can free those staff members to work on higher value tasks, right, and to scale their business and operate more profitably.
Nice. And would it work? So, for example, in that circumstance earlier, instead of a payslip, I uploaded my dog. If it recognized that the photo wasn't what it should be, would it auto reject?
Yeah, it just wouldn't rename it, right? So if it's a document type that it doesn't recognize, it'll just ignore it and it won't rename it for you. Now, one thing that we are planning on also implementing post introducing the renaming capability is to take things further, where if someone uploads a document and it's, you've asked for a payslip and it's not a payslip, we could then display a message and say, hey, this isn't a payslip, or it's not a valid payslip, right? Perhaps you need, you can define rules where you say, hey, I need a payslip that's at most no older than 3 months, right? So because we've extracted all of that metadata from the document, that information, we can then have logic built into it. So that's probably the next stage of what we build. First thing we want to do is we want to really, really deliver a seamless, I kind of call it like a magical experience with renaming, where the broker and the support staff aren't even thinking. It just files get uploaded by the client or themselves, and it just magically gets renamed. Some customers have already processes in place where for document collection, and they just want to use this for file renaming. We'll also build that capability. So if someone wants to use Khaddim for just file renaming, they'll be able to do that, in the new year once this capability is built in.
Nice. And you have integrations as well?
So we have an Ilion's bankstatement.com.au integration. We also have a Zapier integration.
Excellent. And so if they needed to ping notifications to any of their CRMs or other tools, that's easy enough to do inside of Khaddim.
Yeah, so currently our Zapier integration is one way, so you can send information to Khaddim, but in the future we'll be able to, we're planning on building the capability for you to send information out of Khaddim, whether it's a status update or whatever it may be to your CRM and whatnot.
Nice. Wow, thank you. And I think at the end of the day, if anything, I guess some of the largest headaches in and around that process of managing your broker workflow is that whole document collection. And then, having that set process for what you want to collect and being able to choose which ones suit the circumstance. So,
yes,
like you demonstrated, you can have a standard process, but then as you send it out, you can say, not right now. And then you can probably add that in later if you actually require that type of document.
Yeah, absolutely. You can always modify and update a request down the track if need be.
Another thing, just so I was going to add in there, another thing which is really useful, which is having a sort of setup with reminders. So they can send it out. Customers busy, they're too busy. You know, this time of year, for example, I think I saw something today on LinkedIn, a broker talking about it. Just, you know, after the Melbourne Cup, it gets very hard to get the documents in. People have got, you know, banks are slow or everything, and one thing we can do is automatically just send out reminders. So you can do 5 reminders, 10 reminders. You can do a lot of reminders so that it's just nudging them. They obviously want to give the documents, but they're just busy. They get, you know, they got work to do, whatever it may be. So that's super useful. I think that's important.
Oh, that's right. That's probably one of the most valuable features of Kaddim, is that you don't have to chase and follow up and remind, right? Your clients know what, you know, when they get a reminder, which documents is outstanding. So yeah, the communication and the reminders is a big piece of Kaddim.
Nice, perfect. And I guess once you've done such a great job, this actually leads into the next part, I guess, of your side hustle, which is Testimonial Donut, because this tool actually helps collect reviews.
Yes. I'll try and give a brief overview of this, and then Guy, feel free to jump in and
Sure.
let me know if there's anything I've missed, but all right, 1 second. All right. You should be able to see my screen now.
It's coming.
Okay, so this is Testimonial Donut. So I'll just bring our landing page. So basically, the way we pitch it is software to help Aussie brokers get more Google reviews. That's really the nuts and bolts of it. There's more than that. You get to showcase your reviews in really powerful ways. Jump on our website, check out the information we have there. But essentially, a few things you can do. The first, I guess, the valuable piece is around collecting Google reviews. So if I bring this up here, requesting. You can, similar concept to Kaddim, so you can create these requests, and this can be automated, right? So we can trigger this off your CRM. You put in your client's details. So let me put in your details, find your email again. Okay, great. So you put in all of your client's information. And again, this is that you can automate this to make, say, an API call. And then you select what review you'd like to collect. Most brokers are on Google Review. If you're on Trustpilot or another platform, you can select that, but then put in your Google Review platform link there. I've got one here. To be honest with you, I can't remember whose Google Review link that is for this test account, but we'll just run with that. Click next, and then so you can define if you want to communicate with this or make this request via email or SMS or both. You can also schedule it. You might say, I want to send this off at 4 p.m. today, right? So Katie receives this at 4 p.m. Or actually, let me do it a little bit later. I want this 6 p.m. So when Katie's at home, back from work, right? People can be busy. And then set up your reminders. So I've got a reminder for an email and an SMS 1 day after the request. And maybe I want to send this off at 8 p.m. I can add another reminder if I want, and I'll do email and SMS, again, whatever I choose, 2 days later. And, you know, I might set this to 8 a.m., try an early morning. And if you click View Edit Request Templates, this is where you can customize the templates of your email and SMS that's going to be sent to your client. You can modify all of that. Once you're happy, hit send, boom, and this gets sent out. And a summary of everyone that you've emailed is here, so they're sharing all of that. But once they're all sent, then they basically, our system is going to monitor to see whether or not that they have left you a Google review. If they have, it's going to stop sending those reminders. If they leave them a Google review, then that's fantastic. It gets added to Google. Our system, you can also connect your Google reviews to Testimonial Donut and have them all imported. And so here, you can see these are all the different, we've got a bunch of different just accounts that we've hooked up to this account, and the Google reviews have come through. And what you can do is if you want to display them on your website, and here's one we have for one of our, well, actually, yeah, this one is this one again. Yeah, it's a test account, so it's a mishmash of a bunch of different reviews. But basically, this is where you can build a widget that you can add onto your website for reviews. So if I come to customize, there is an endless amount of customization to make it look like it was a widget designed just for your website. You can adjust the font size, border, the width, and the size of the cards, and also how they're presented. So I've got a carousel. You might want to have a slider, right? Something like this. And once you're happy with it, you can publish the widget. Or if there's certain things you want to take out, for example, I'm not sure what this one's looking funky, so I'll delete this one. Make that Oops.
Nice.
All right, this is probably a deleted. Yeah, I've deleted this on the other section, but anyway. So yeah, once you're happy with it, you click publish your widget, voila, and then you get a little bit of code that you can add to your website without needing to know how to code. And there are instructions for the various different website builders out there, right? So if your website's built on Squarespace, Kajabi, just thinking WordPress, Elementor, so the Webflow, a range of different common website building platforms. You can read the guide on how to embed it, and then you'll embed your testimonials onto your website, and it's super streamlined. If you want to view them, you can click copy URL, open them up on a tab, and you can see your widget. And it's super simple and streamlined. There's a lot of other capabilities I won't go into, but in a nutshell, it's really a platform designed to help you request and again collect those Google reviews, increase the number of positive Google reviews that you collect, which is super important for brokers, and also to be able to showcase them for those who come onto your landing page.
Nice. I like it, because at the end of the day, you obviously start with Kaddim, which is where you start that actual relationship building journey, and then you can get to that point where by the end they've had such a great experience throughout that whole process through to settlement that collecting the review is just so much easier. That's
right. Yeah, 100%.
And people do another thing, which is actually what we started with the tool for, was video testimonials. So if people want to, not everyone, a lot of people focus, for brokers, a lot of them focus on reviews, and we find that not every end customer wants to give a video sort of testimonial, but if they want to, they can, which can be really useful. We found that some brokers, they've got clients that are happy to do that, and it's pretty powerful to be able to do that. So that's just another little addition. And then beyond that, one thing I'm noticing now, being on LinkedIn lots, connecting with lots of brokers, is quite a few brokers kind of put a little picture testimonial on LinkedIn, maybe if they're regular content people. So we'll at some point possibly look at the option to be able to do that on socials. So it's super easy just to share it out there,
Nice. And I think building trust is more important now than ever, especially in the age of AI. And so being able to do video and have those conversations and demonstrate, I guess this is where Testimonial Donut and Khaddim are going to really service those needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's going to be a day for... No, continue.
No, you go.
No, I was going to say that there's going to be a day where more and more people want that authenticity and verifiability, and that's probably where video comes in. And to Guy's point, but that being said, we've decided to meet brokers where they're at, which is really hone in and deliver an exceptional experience on Google reviews. And if they want to take it further, bring in video testimonials as well.
Perfect. Yeah. If people wanted to check out Khaddim or Testimonial Donut, where should they go? What should they do?
Kaddim.com is on there. We're sort of updating that now, so they can go there. I think, Kaddim's actually an Iranian word, and we like the word Kaddim. Otherwise, you can connect as well with me and Farzan on LinkedIn. Often what we do is people connect. We had a few people today messaging me, and then we go and do a demo. We do find that people need that to sort of figure out if it fits their workflow. I think to sign off and run with it could be done, but it's quite nice to have that little bit of friction at the beginning, just to really find out if we're solving their problem and what they do, and then be able to kind of handhold slightly at the beginning just to get them set up and get them going, especially with things like when the file rename's coming, there'll probably be a little bit of just help to set that up at the beginning. But yeah, Kaddim.com, testimonialdonut.com.
Yeah.
Nice. Nothing like a little entrepreneurial journey, like we said way before we actually hit record on this. And I think this applies to brokers just as it does to whoever we are, is that at the end of the day, we're all entrepreneurs, and we're here to help each other grow and support each other in whatever direction that happens to go in. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to the journey of Khaddim.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, we're excited. We're probably, to be fair, Farzan and I, we're tired, but we're excited, if that makes sense. Tired in a good way, not tired of it. Just, we do spend a lot of time putting these pieces together and chatting to lots of brokers, and we spend lots of time with the team. But it's we're super excited. Part of the reason I joined with Farzan, and we talked about this, a few years ago. We thought, okay, well, let's join forces, and part of the reason I'm Farzan's a very determined character, and I strongly believe that he will, you know, I don't know if it's getting to the end of the rainbow sort of thing, but I strongly believe he'll, you know, be a success. So I was definitely keen to be part of that. And we're kind of, you know, with that, we're like that sort of, not married, but we're kind of like work married, you know. When Farzan's, you know, doing something, like Farzan was away recently and he was a bit ill, and, you know, and then hopefully I can pick up the slack then, and then, you know, different things. So we work pretty well together. It's a good
we definitely, I think, is, you know, whilst Guy's giving me all the compliments, I think the reality is we're just a great team, you know, and I think there's nothing more valuable in entrepreneurship than being able to work with the right people. And it's not just about skill sets. Obviously, skill sets are very important. You want to have the, you know, complement each other's skill sets, which we do between Guy, myself, and even the co-founders, but also just the personalities, you know, the way you sort of you jive with one another. And I think, yeah, like Guy was, you know, being lavish with his compliments. I could go on forever in terms of his skill sets that I just sometimes I would struggle with if I tried to do what the things he's good at. But yeah, I think we're really blessed to have, you know, the team that we have. We work really well together, and absolutely super excited, very determined to deliver tremendous value to brokers. And yeah, we're just not going to stop.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us on the pod. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to the guys. Again, I'll put the links below to the different websites, and I will let you know any release updates. Also, add in your LinkedIn details should they reach out to you there.
Cool.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Thanks for having us.
All right. Thank you, and we will catch you guys soon.
Sounds good.